We continue now at the top of Daf Yudalid Amud Aleph in Meseches Horayos. This is Horayos Daf 14a. On the previous Amud, Rebbe taught Rabbi Shimon, his son, a statement from Acherim, from others. And as we said on the previous Amud, there was an incident, and Rabbi Meir is referred to as Acherim because of an incident in which he disrespected Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel. And this is the conclusion of the statement that Rebbe is teaching his son Rabbi Shimon, Lo Hayakarev, that again, if it was Tamura, talking about this particular case of Meiser Behema that was quoted on the previous Amud, if it really was a Tamura, it would not have been offered, and that demonstrates that it does not have the status of Tamura, it doesn't have the status of a substitute. Amar Lo, so he said to him, meaning Rabbi Shimon said back to his father Rebbe, Mihem halolu shemeimeim anu shosim, ushmosam ein anu mazkirim, who are these individuals that we drink from their waters, but we don't mention their names, we refer to them as Acherim. Amar Le, he said to him, B'nei Adam shebikshu lakor, kevodcho, kevod beis avicha, these were people who tried to uproot the honor, your honor, and the honor of the house of your father. Amar Le, so he said back to him, Gam havosam, gam sinasam, gam kinasam kvaravda, their love, their hatred, their envy, it's all lost. What's the difference? This is an episode that took place long ago. Those who were involved have passed on, so why should we continue referring to him as Acherim? Amar Le said to him, Ha'oyev tamu charvos lanetzach, it's true that the enemy is finished, also quoting a pasuk in Tehillim, the enemy is finished, but the destruction, it continues on forever. Amar Le said to him, Hani mili hecha dahanu ma'aseu, but that's only true when what they did was effective. But Rabbanan lo ahanu ma'aseu, but in this case what they did was not even effective, and so therefore why don't we dispose of this idea of referring to him as Acherim? Hadar asni Le, so then instead he taught it to him as follows, Amru mishum Rabbi Meir, that they said in the name of Rabbi Meir, so he quoted Rabbi Meir, Ilu hayatmura lo hayakarev, again if it was a tmura, it would not have been offered. And the Gemara notes, Amar Rava says, Afilu Rebbe, even Rebbe Dan Vasnusahu, who is a very humble person, but he still didn't want to quote Rabbi Meir directly. Amru Mishum Rabbi Meir Amar, he said, they said in the name of Rabbi Meir, but Rabbi Meir lo Amar, but he didn't say directly Rabbi Meir. And the Gemara continues, Amar Rabbi Yochanan says, Pligu ba Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel v'Rabbanan, Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel and the Rabbanan, they argue on the following issue. Chad Omar Sinai Adif, one says that a Sinai is preferred. A Sinai is somebody who has a lot of Bekiyas, he knows a lot of sources like Mishnayos and Braisos. The Chad Omar, and the other one says Oker Harim Adif, one who can uproot mountains. That means to say that he's analytical, that's actually preferred. And the Gemara continues, Rav Yosef Sinai, Rav Yosef was a Sinai, he knew a lot, and Rabba Oker Harim, Rabba was somebody who was analytical, he could uproot mountains. Shalchu letaman, so they sent over there the following question, Eze mehem kodem, which one should come first? They sent this question from Bavel to Eretz Yisrael, who has precedence, what's greater? Shalchu lahu, so they sent to them Sinai Adif, the Sinai is preferred, the Amar Mar, because the master said, Hakol tzrichin l'marechitaya, everybody needs the owner of the wheat, everybody needs to know the sources. V'afilu hachi, but nevertheless, lo kabel Rav Yosef aleh, lo kabel Rav Yosef aleh, Rav Yosef did not accept the position of the Rosh HaYeshiva, even though the Sinai was Adif. And so Malach Rabba Estrin V'Tarte Shnin, the Gemara says that Rabba ruled, he was the head of the yeshiva, the head of the academy for 22 years, V'Hadar Malach Rav Yosef, and then Rav Yosef, he became the head of the yeshiva. V'Chol Shnei de Malach Rabba, and all of the years that Rabba was in charge, Rav Yosef Afilu Umna Levese Lo Chalef, Rav Yosef did not even call a blood letter to his house, meaning he exercised no authority, he didn't treat himself like he had any authority whatsoever. Abaya v'Rav of Rabbi Zera, v'Rabba bar Masna have a Yasvi. Abaya and Rav and Rabbi Zera and Rabba bar Masna, they were sitting. V'Havutzrichi Reisha, they needed to designate someone who would take over, who would be the one in charge. Amri, they said, Kol Damar Milsa v'Lo Mifrach, anyone who says something that is not refuted, Lahavi Reisha, he should be the one to take over, he should be the one that is the head. The Kulu Ifrach, everybody was refuted, the Abaya Lo Ifrach, but Abaya was not refuted. Chazi Rabba Abaya the Gvar Reisha, Rabba saw that Abaya was lifting his head, and Amar Le said to him, Nachmeni, Psach v'Yema, Nachmeni, open up your mouth and begin to lecture, begin to speak. In other words, you will be the head. Iboy Lahu, they had the following question. Rabbi Zera v'Rabba bar Rav Masna, Rabbi Zera and Rabba bar Rav Masna, Haimi Nayu Adif, which one is better? Rabbi Zera Chorif u'Maksher, Rabbi Zera is sharp and he asks questions. V'Rabba bar Rav Masna, Mosun u'Masik, and Rabba bar Rav Masna, he takes his time and he gets to conclusions, he reaches conclusions. So which one is preferred? And the Gemara says, the Gemara leaves that as a question. And Rashi explains, Nachmeni psach v'yomer drasha dimishmaya paskule rabusa. He said, Nachmeni, open up your mouth, begin to say the drasha. This comes from heaven. Again, that you should be the one to take the leadership position. Abaya karule Nachmeni. Abaya was called Nachmeni. And Rashi continues, Charufu maksha, he was sharp, and he asked questions. That was referring to Rabbi Zera. Mitoch pilpul yisera, because of a lot of analysis. The havale have a maksha mataritz. He would ask questions and he would answer. Aval Rabba bar Masna lo have a charaf, but Rabba bar Masna, he was not so sharp. Kolkach, he wasn't as sharp as Rabbi Zera. However, mitoch shu showu ma'ayin yafa yafa, but because he took his time and he spent time looking into things, masek aliba de hilchasa, he was able to come to the conclusions according to the halacha. Hadran aloch kohen Mashiach, we will return to you, Perek Kohen Mashiach, uslik olam Meseches Horayos, and this is the conclusion of Meseches Horayos. If you're enjoying these videos and this channel, please like, share, and subscribe, and take a look at the description box below to see how you can support this channel, and we will begin Meseches Zvachim in the next video.